Dear spectators, welcome to our panel on energy efficiency practices in Turkey and their international reflections. This week has been very busy in Turkey as it is celebrated as the Energy Efficiency Week, and lots of events have taken place since early Monday. Just to remind that Turkey is expected to be carbon-free by 2053, which means that we have to take our precautions as of today. That's why I would like to thank Women in Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency and Management Association thoroughly, as they have taken the initiative to come up with this panel today and invite distinguished panels. I would like to introduce my panelists today. First, Gözde Ertemir, then MERT KALPAR, and then Selen İnal. Gözde Ertemir holds a master's degree as a Jean Monnet Scholarship Fellow in Sustainability Science, Policy and Society at Maastricht University, which provided her to analyze sustainability challenges and conduct sustainability assessments, mostly in an interdisciplinary context. She attended to the graduate program of European Integration in Middle East Technical University and completed her undergraduate education at Gazi University, Department of International Relations. She worked in the Directorate General for Foreign Affairs of Ministry of Energy and National Resources more than 10 years as an expert. During this period, she gained significant experience in European countries' energy issues and politics and the energy diplomacy between Turkey and other countries. Since 2021, she has been working at the Foreign Investment Coordination Department in Ministry as a project coordinator. She has been actively involved in diverse areas such as capacity development for energy efficiency, awareness-raising initiatives, rooftop solar photovoltaic implementation, hydropower projects, and infrastructure analysis for the offshore wind. Specific to the energy efficiency, she has been responsible for implementation of the projects called Announcement of IPA 2013 Outputs and Event Management for Information Sharing in Energy Efficiency, preparation of the Second National Energy Efficiency Action Plan of the Türkiye, and the IPA 2018 Increasing Awareness of Households for Energy Efficiency. Welcome, Gözde Ertemir.
Thank you very much, Yasemin.
MERT KALPAR is 41 years old and is a mechanical engineer. He has been working for Siemens at head of value services and center of competence. And energy efficiency has always been at the center of his professional business life. He is responsible for energy efficiency services at the center of competence and integral plant maintenance. His services with 20 years of experience include energy and maintenance management, consultancy, project management, energy efficiency-oriented software, and solution development and business development. Welcome, MERT KALPAR.
Thank you very much, Yasemin.
And Selen İnal has 22 years of experience in various areas of the energy sector. She continues her career as clean energy and green transition consultant at EcoMuse Consulting, which she founded as of 2023. She is also the country advisor Türkiye of EYODER Energy, an independent body of the European Union and the world's largest sustainable energy innovation ecosystem, and a member of the Council of Engineers for the Energy Transition, an independent advisory council to the Secretary General of the United Nations. Welcome, Selen İnal.
Thank you very much.
I would like to ask my first two questions, starting from Gözde Ertemir. Gözde, can you share specific examples of successful energy efficiency projects coordinated in the government sector? And what were the key outcomes and impact on the local communities or industries involved? Given the dynamic nature of energy policies, how do you align your projects with the involving energy efficiency policies, please?
Thank you very much. Certainly. First, I want to mention about the general picture in the energy sector, maybe with only a few words. We saw in the last years that energy crisis happened, and they really effectively got very importance in the energy sector because the crisis are still aligned with the goals of the decarbonization, and our economies and long-term economic growth, they're all affected with the energy policies, and we have very high targets, and we cannot get there unless we use energy efficiency in a best way. So not only the increasing renewable energies, but also applying the energy efficiency very well is very important. And I think now Turkey is on the right way. Turkey adopted many important documents. We announced our national energy plan, and also this week actually we announced our second national energy efficiency action plan. Of course, the 12th development document was published. So when we look all of these political documents, we can see that Turkey is on the way of decarbonization and getting very important steps. Of course, the projects are at the top of these activities, and generally we work with the World Bank and IPA and also some other IFIs to get some funds for renewable energy and energy efficiency projects. When I come to examples, there have been many projects in the energy efficiency concept. For example, energy efficiency in public building project is a very successful one. It's still some phases are still ongoing, and this initiative focuses on strengthening the energy efficiency and market providing financial support, enhancing the capacity of public sector entities in Turkey. And also the outcome includes digital transformation of energy efficiency services and increase awareness, of course. Also, as another concept, we have energy efficiency pilot projects. They were also very important in many different sectors. And they were like helping to get new projects in the sector. For example, I remember the hydroelectric and thermal power plants, electricity production, and energy storage systems and natural gas transmission systems. These were all different projects focused on the energy efficiency. So they aim to improve the efficiency and reduce emissions, of course, and enhance the overall sustainability of the energy sector. And they had a tangible impact on local communities and industries. Actually, they made a privilege effect and leading to the energy savings, reducing emissions, and of course, important energy efficiency practices by improving the energy efficiency of public buildings and critical energy infrastructure. These initiatives contributed to resilience and sustainability of the local communities also. And we had increasing activities in some of our projects. Some of them focused directly to the local communities, municipalities. So I think they were very helpful. And also we had some other projects to having equipment, energy efficiency equipments. We provided them to these municipalities like water pump systems, etc. So finally, I can mention about two new projects. One of them has just announced, as I mentioned, the National Energy Efficiency Action Plan, which was prepared and implemented with the technical assistance of World Bank. And with the help of the World Bank and also the grants from IPA, European Commission, we were very lucky to create this environment and have our second National Energy Efficiency Action Plan, which will be in effect until 2030. And also we have some targets until 2035, emphasizing the transition to a net zero emissions scenario by 2053, as you know. So the government's proactive stance ensures these projects remain aligned with the changing policy landscape and promoting the adaptability in the global energy sector, I can say.
Thank you so much for this very brief and detailed information, Gözde. I would like to ask my second question to MERT KALPAR. How are Turkey's industrial companies adapting and implementing new technologies for energy efficiency? And are there specific case studies or projects that highlight the positive environmental impact of energy efficiency measures? Please.
Thank you very much, Yasemin Hanım. First of all, let me say something about energy intensive levels of Turkey's industrial companies. The most energy intensive verticals are, as you know, iron and steel, metals, pulp and paper, cement, glass, and ceramics. If we want to make a second priority list, I can easily say that petrochemical, wood, and tire industries have also quite high level energy intensity. I want to answer this question with two ways. First of all, I want to give some information for all industrial verticals. I mean, what are the trend topics, new technologies for industry in Turkey? As everyone knows that sustainability is the most important topic for last few years. For this kind of, especially for this kind of energy intensive industries. For that reason, CO2 reduction is the most popular target for these energy intensive industries. Regarding with this target, all industries, they want to implement renewable energy systems to produce green energy and reduce their energy purchasing. Renewable energy systems are quite popular for last 2 years. In addition, two other topics are quite popular nowadays. One of them is energy monitoring and management systems that every industrial plant, they need to improve their competence on energy management. And the last topic is waste heat recovery systems. I know VHR system, waste heat recovery systems are well known and using for many years, but nowadays, especially with the focus on CO2 reduction, all industrial plants, they want to recover waste heat if they have. These are generic technologies for all verticals. I want to give more details, more new trends for specifically, especially for iron and steel and wood industry. Especially for last 2 years, all these iron and steel manufacturers, they focused on their furnaces, especially for reheating furnaces. Two technologies are preferred. One of them is combustion optimization, combustion improvement technologies. The other is waste heat recovery from the flue gas of these reheating furnaces. Both of these topics are related directly carbon-based fuels reduction. Maybe for wood industry, I need to give more details about wood industry in Turkey because of Turkey is the second biggest producers for wood-based panel board industry in the world. Wood-based panel board industry is quite important vertical for Turkey. For last 5 years, they try to improve their process efficiency levels, especially all MDF lines, medium density fiberboard producers. They implemented efficient dryer technologies with using smart automation systems on their drying processes. And nowadays, they also try to use process intelligence with data analytics to improve their efficiency more and more. Of course, I can give more examples for other verticals, but I'm not sure time is enough or not to talk
please
more.
Continue. You can continue, please.
Okay. If we are talking about cement industry, especially for last 15 years, the technology developed to use some medium voltage instruments. In the past, before the 15 years, unfortunately, the some equipments like variable speed drives, but medium voltage for the medium voltage motors, it is not easy to applicable and easy to sell this kind of products because of the technology developed and the price of the product, medium voltage drives price dramatically decreased, and the companies, they can buy and they can use these products in their processes. As you know, the all cement process, they use huge fans, medium voltage motors driven fans. For that reason, they want to use these variable speed drives to regulate, to optimize their processes, their consumptions regarding with the process parameters. And I think for last 10 years, they almost completed all potential on the using variable speed drives on process fans. The all cement industries, cement plants, they implement these technologies on their process fans, and they got huge amount of energy saving. As you know, the energy management maturity in our energy intensive industries verticals, cement, I think, is the most popular and the most developed industry in Turkey, because of they have huge amount of energy intensity level. For that reason, they have to do some energy saving implementation, energy saving projects to reduce the consumption. And also, of course, nowadays we are talking about carbon taxes. They need to reduce their carbon emissions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Can you sum up perhaps one last sentence maybe?
I think the all these energy intensive industries, if we are talking about 10 years ago, they all try to collect low hanging fruits from the tree, but nowadays they collect and they always try to find some potential on their processes, because of production processes, they consume huge amount of energy, and they need to reduce this energy consumption, and they need to reduce the CO2 emissions from the production process. For that reason, all these kind of industries, they always try to focus on their processes.
Thank you so much. And Selen, İnal, how does the current state of energy efficiency in the Southern Caucasus and Central Asia compare to that of Turkey? In what ways can a business model, specifically the ESCO model, aid in accelerating their investments in energy efficiency?
Hello, everybody again. So I like to bring some regional perspective on the table, because in Turkey really recently talk much about the developments in Turkey and our market, but also within the region there are developing markets, especially the Turkic republics, meaning Southern Caucasus and Central Asia. And actually in November I was in Almaty in Kazakhstan for third Almaty Energy Forum, and I had the opportunity to discuss these opportunities with the parties. I'd like to share a presentation to show on the graphs. I think it may be more clear that way. Okay, I think you may see the graph. So this data is taken from the Tracking SDG 7 reporting platform of the World Bank. Actually, you can see my reference at the below, the web page link. This data may be a little less updated compared to our data in Turkey because it's not that easy to collect data from Southern Caucasus and Central region in regards to energy efficiency. But just to make a correction, actually Turkey has been going quite well with energy efficiency lately. And according to the data shared by the Ministry of Energy in December 2023, actually in 2022, Turkey's energy intensity decreased by 6.2%, whereas the energy intensity in average globally decreased only 2%. And also the rate of Turkey surpasses like 4.1% energy efficiency target set by the International Energy Agency for the year 2030. So we are on the good way as a country, but now I think we can also look new potentials in our region. And on those graphs, you see the energy intensity comparison with other countries in the region. As you may see, Turkey's energy intensity is 2.57. And when you look at other countries, actually some of them are very high, like in Turkmenistan or Uzbekistan. Some of them are much better, but still when you compare to Turkey, they have a long way to go. This means actually a big potential for energy efficiency investments and improvements. And on the right-hand side, when you look at the developments within the years, again, you may say that majority of those countries, Turkic republics, they decrease their energy efficiency intensity in years, but still it's not enough and there is a lot of potential. Now this is another graph and table, and this I took from RISE, Regulatory Indicators of Sustainable Energy. And this is also a platform of the World Bank. But here, and this analyzes the countries as per the developments of the regulations. Here, when you look at the developments in Turkey, for example, we have completed like 100% our national energy efficiency planning and energy efficiency entities. But there are still some parts which we need to develop. For example, you can see that building energy codes are only 25%. We are going behind. Also, like financing mechanism for energy efficiency is 35% over 100. So although we came from a long way, there's still a lot of space for improvement, especially for business development and ecosystem and the mechanism like financing mechanisms. And here you can also see the energy efficiency scores of all those countries. Later on, I may share this PowerPoint so that everybody can have a look. And this is the generally how we can see the developments in those countries. And now I'll talk a bit about ESCO model, because as you see in many countries, you may have the primary regulations and some systems, some entities, etc. But it's not enough to create a project pipeline, because for project pipeline, you need many things, like you need some technical capacity, you need some financing mechanisms and other things. And if you cannot create project pipelines, you cannot attract financing, and also mitigating risk is very important. But in lack of this ability, for example, in your market, let's say you haven't yet developed all those capacities separately, then if you want to accelerate it, you can accelerate it with ESCO model, because ESCO model, you have an integrated approach for technical, commercial, and financial aspects all in one. And you can bring with ESCO model to the market all expertises at once. Just to mention a couple of things about the ESCO ecosystem and ESCO model, because establishing a robust ESCO system is crucial. You want it to work properly. So the objective for a robust ecosystem is to have implementation capacity, which means also having technical capacities, but also some adequate funding in addition to policies and targets. You need to generate technically, economically sound energy efficiency projects and portfolios so that you can attract financing, and you need to mitigate some risks. And when you have such markets, your market potential becomes attractive for the financial institutions and investors. As you know, we all talk about both energy efficiency projects and renewable energy projects at the moment. There is lack of finance, difficulty of financing. It has become an important barrier for us in the country at the moment. So if we have a robust ecosystem and market, well-functioning markets, then we may attract finance. And also, you know, usually up to now, renewable energy projects seem more interesting for the financiers compared to energy efficiency projects, because for energy efficiency, they have their own customized, let's say, characteristics, and you need to develop them. And it's not as standard as renewable energy projects. But if we can, again, create a market, we can generate those projects. If there is a technical and economical expertise lacking in the market, then ESCO would be a good model to develop. As I mentioned, it brings all different perspectives by one company, actually. And this company solve those problems for you. And of course, involvement of the public sector is very important, because you need supporting policies to develop the market and to have a well-functioning ESCO ecosystem. And of course, you need a lot of stakeholders in the ecosystem, such as just a minute. Such as audit firms, ESCOs, energy managers, industry experts, etc. And also you need secondary regulations for the market and some market instruments. And as a last point to mention, I like to tell about the components of a high-performing ecosystem. Actually, energy price levels and subsidies are very important, because if you have, for example, fossil fuel subsidies in a market, then maybe energy efficiency investments may not be that interesting, because your electricity prices are kept low. And as we see, for example, in Turkey, since the electricity price increased, energy efficiency investments increased as well, because it became an important factor for the competitiveness of the companies. Of course, it's important to have a defined ESCO model, because when clients want to apply this model, they want to have the trust and they want to know there is an existing model like this. ESCO accreditation system is very important to sustain the quality of the system. Conducting energy audits to show the potential, and also having certified and trained experts is a must. When we tell about energy performance contracts, it's always good to have some model contracts, because these are complicated contracts. And when you have simplified ones, standardized, let's say, it will be useful for everybody to accelerate. Establishing a measurement, monitoring, and verification scheme is critical as well. Providing incentives it's suitable to the type of the market, characteristics of the market is very important again. You need financing, you need some financing instruments. And the most important maybe at the moment for Turkey is we need something to mitigate risk, because we have a lot of risk, and this increased the interest rates of the finance or the willingness of financial institutions to provide loans. And having ESCO supportive taxation and accounting rules would really help to accelerate the market. That's from my side for the moment. Thank you.
Thank you indeed for this insightful answer. So at our first tour, we have completed questions on projects coordinated in the government sector. We have found some answers for the technological innovations and environmental impact within the industrial companies. And also we have looked intensely in the Southern Caucasus and Central Asia also, besides Turkey. So at our second tour, I would like to come back to Gözde Ertemir once again and ask her the following question. How does your role involve collaboration with international partners or funding institutions in the context of energy efficiency projects? And could you provide insights into the challenges and benefits of such collaborations, please?
Sure. Actually, I work as a project coordinator for foreign investment department of our ministry. So what we are doing is trying to manage the funds and grants which are given to the Turkish Republic in the energy sector. So we try to use these funds as a create new projects in the sector. Generally, the amounts of grants are not very high, not too much, but they really help to give a way to the other companies and sectors and to try to open new doors for them. So they're really helpful because we benefit from the expertise of these institutions. So there, I'm responsible for projects, World Bank projects. I'm World Bank coordinator, and also I'm the visibility expert of the ministry for IPO projects. So I'm responsible to coordinate all the visibility activities created under the EPA. Actually, we also had some projects just specific for the outputs of the EPA. And in that context, we prepared many reports, many documents, activities to increase the awareness and also increase the capability of the sector, not only for renewable energies, but also for energy efficiency. What helped us with this kind of collaboration was their technical knowledge exchange, because for example, for World Bank, they have been working in different countries and in various projects, and sometimes I can give an example for offshore project. In Turkey, we don't have an offshore as a applied in the system in a site, but now we are trying to create the environment for investors. And World Bank has a good experience, and also the IPA projects help us to go where we want. So for example, when sometimes you are creating a new environment for a new market, you don't know how to plan it, and they have the expertise and they just give us their knowledge. Also, we benefit from their reports and some site visits, etc. So these kind of collaboration really helps us, but also, of course, except from the technical assistance, I can mention the financial support, because IPO provides us grants. IPO projects are created with the help of the grants, but also World Bank provides us some credits, and they have very few interests, so they can help us to manage long-term projects and investments. So as I mentioned, our projects before, they all were created and implemented with the help of these collaborations. And of course, when we talk about collaboration, international partners, there's also some benefits and challenges. As benefit, I can also say the technologies, we get more knowledge on technologies and diverse expertise, and of course financial resources. And especially for the large-scale projects, we benefit them because they generally go beyond the scope of the national budget. It's difficult. So also they get a broader perspective and enabling sharing the best practices and lessons learned, but also challenges we face because in energy sector there are different stakeholders, different players, and also different regulatory frameworks, and sometimes ensuring the effective communication can be a problem between them. Especially when we are talking about regulatory issues. For example, for energy efficiency, if you want to bring a new project or a new model, finance model, first you will need a regulatory basis. If it's not there, it can take some time to apply it at the international standard level. For example, now we have a project for distributed solar PV and battery storage. We are in negotiations with World Bank and some development banks in Turkey. And now what we see is for storage, battery storage regulation, there is some lack of laws or regulation, and we still don't. There are some gray areas when we try to prepare the project documents. So these are some kind of maybe challenges that I can mention. But of course, when we weight them, we have many benefits with the collaboration, and also generally maybe I can say because of now we are trying to deal with climate change and the negative effects of climate change, and of course some policies for decarbonization, making our systems more clean. We need to increase our resilience, not only for the energy sector problems, but also for climate problems. That's why we will need the collaboration in all sectors in the energy sector. If I need to conclude, Turkey has really high targets and commitment to energy efficiency, and this is not reflected its ambitions, national plans, but also in the international policies. We see that because, for example, in the last COP 28, our minister mentioned about the new targets, including energy efficiency targets. So we, in all chance, we try to take one more step, and I think it works. So maybe for international cooperation, we will see new areas for the coming years, because this area is getting really, how can I say, very important, and every day we see new collective efforts to struggle with climate change and maybe increase energy efficiency appliances. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your answer, Gözde, Ertemir. And now, MERT, KALPAR. Are there any remarkable success stories in implementing energy-saving projects regarding with the policy in Turkey? So what's your view on this?
Yes, definitely there is a remarkable success story, especially about incentive programs. Related with the energy efficiency law in Turkey, as you know, there are two different incentive programs. One of them is voluntary agreement. The other one name is WAP. The short name is WAP, but I think Energy Efficiency Increasing Projects Incentive Program, we can call it. I think the most important incentive program is WAP in Turkey. The government gives 30% cashback for the investment of energy efficiency projects to the industrial companies. Ministry of Energy and its department, which is called EYODER, manage very well this incentive program for last, I think, 14 or 13 years. And I think until now, more than 1,000 projects were applied to government to take 30% incentive for the energy saving project, energy efficiency projects. And actually, I want to show some figures about this program. I found really well-prepared figures from the website of Ministry of Energy. Unfortunately, the language is in Turkish, but I can explain what the figures shows us. Probably you can see full screen now. Let me know if you couldn't see the. Okay. Yes. The total approved incentive projects count number is more than 1,000. It's quite high number, and for last 14 years, I mean, the 14 years ago, the government starts to take these incentives, programs, applications, and after the Corona pandemic period, the numbers are dramatically increased because of, as you know, energy price increased dramatically. In addition, the CO2 reduction pressure or sustainability issues, all industrial plants, they faced these kind of problems. For that reason, they try to find all potentials, all saving potentials, and they try to implement the saving potentials on their plants. For that reason, after pandemic, the figures, numbers are dramatically increasing. And the total, how can I say, incentive amount that the government gives to companies after the implementation, I can say that every year, averagely $1 million incentives the government gives to companies for energy efficiency projects, energy efficiency increasing projects as an incentive. And these figures shows us the numbers of the companies that they applied these incentive programs, and every year almost more than 50 companies, 50 energy, how can I say, over the middle stage or high stage energy consumption level companies, they can implement, they can apply these incentive programs. So these are not small sized factories. They are consuming more than 1,000 ton equivalent oil, petrol annually. So every year the numbers are increasing, and the government, Ministry of Energy and its department EYODER is really managing very well to these incentive programs. Every year numbers are increasing, and if you are talking about the other incentive programs, I mentioned that the voluntary agreement, there is another incentive program. Unfortunately, the improvement or development level is a little bit slower than the other incentive program, like WAP program, because of until now only 44 factories they applied to sign a voluntary agreement with the Ministry of Energy for last 13 years. The numbers are increasing, but if you compare the speed of development improvement between these two incentive programs, WAP is more attractive, more dynamic, more, how can I say, really proper to apply for industrial plants. I think these numbers are enough to explain, especially the figures and project numbers dramatically increased, and the success story comes from these numbers, I think. Because of all industrial plants in Turkey, they know what is the incentive program, WAP incentive programs, and they always try to apply these programs. They always try to find some potential on their plans to apply these incentive programs. These kind of incentives accelerate the energy efficiency awareness on industrial plants. So every country, they should find this kind of incentive programs, attractive incentive programs to show the industrial plants, to promote them to apply this kind of incentive programs, because of these kind of plans give some advantages, especially for economical feasibility. For example, in WAP incentive programs, 30% cashback the companies they can take from the government. It means if the project ROI, payback ratio, is 3 years, if they reach these incentive programs, the ROI can be reduced to 2 years because of 30% cashback. They reduce the saving ratios and also ROI, and the projects can be more attractive for the management of the companies. Yasemin Hanım, all answers completed from my side.
Exactly, for sure. And thank you so much for this in-depth answer too. And now I would like to ask my last question to Selen, İnal, going back to the ecosystem world. Why is it crucial to establish a robust and high-performing ecosystem, Selen? And could you elaborate on this concept, drawing insights from examples in Turkey and Azerbaijan?
The first part of my speech was more on theoretical, so in this part I'd like to provide 2 examples, 2 case studies. Let me again share my slides with you. Yes. Actually, I'll start with the showcase Türkiye, first of all. I divided Turkish markets, energy efficiency markets developments actually into 2 phases. One phase is from 2007 to 2019, and the other one is from 2019 up to now. Actually, in the second phase, we see that the market has been really accelerated. But in the first phase, although it started so early, we couldn't get the exact performance we wanted to see, unfortunately. I'd like to talk about a bit the reasons of this. As you know, the energy efficiency law, the first law, was issued in 2007. It's quite early, and energy efficiency entities were also defined. And also a system was introduced, but that system at that time was not as ESCOs, but they were, and they are still, of course, energy efficiency consulting companies. And those companies' purpose to carry out audits and also provide consulting activities for the development of energy efficiency projects. But those were service agreements, so consultancy. And when those companies go to the clients, just they do the audits, they prepare a report, and they get their fees. But afterwards, the clients need to realize the investments, and they don't know how. They have the report, they know which investments maybe they have to do. But after that point, it was very difficult for them to continue because the whole ecosystem, the whole model was not complete. For this reason, in my opinion, of course, it depends on the electricity prices as well. Electricity prices were lower, but still it was the lack of the ecosystem and the complete of different parties which slowed down the development in energy efficiency projects. Also, energy performance contracts were outlined, but they were as an option. They were not mandatory. Energy managers on larger consumers became obligations, which was a good move in my opinion. And also one good thing was the energy audits and the training certifications for CEM, like mandated energy manager training and certifications. This was also very good to develop the technical capacity in the market. But we see that mostly the development focused on development of the technical capacity, but not the business models or not the financial instruments. So what we see is that mostly the energy efficiency projects were defined, but they couldn't be realized. Here also, if I emphasize it again, we see although there's a legal framework and there is a technical capacity in the market, due to the lack of viable business model and also financing instruments, the market's development stayed low, and the energy audits could not be translated into actual energy efficiency investments. But when we look at the second phase, actually starting from 2019 to today, of course, many things changed, which was good for the country. First of all, the Energy Efficiency and Environment Department was founded under the ministry. Rising energy prices made those investments more necessary. And also, in my opinion, there was one regulatory development called public energy performance contracts. This regulation was very important. It was issued in 2021. It really opened the market because here the public authorities initiated the use of this and also promoted the use of energy performance contracts. And at the moment in the market, we have both models. We have energy consulting companies, but also we have ESCO companies, which we really haven't have in the market. Actually, maybe some companies tried those models, but in practice, we could realize only a couple of ESCO agreements before. But at the moment, a lot of companies are entering into this market, and even some big traditional energy companies are becoming and transforming themselves to ESCO companies, which I find very promising. One important thing missing in the market was also the certification of measurement and verification. And this was also introduced, and we also now have a certain number of experts, certified experts on this issue, which is a very good development as well. So we see that after 2019, really the implementation of all those developments was quite well. And that's why actually we see those in the market as well as MERT Bey explained. We had a lot of applications, and the market is growing quite faster compared to before. One thing still missing in the market, actually this year and at the end of last year, there are some introduction of some risk funds, etc. We will see how it will work. But the main barrier at the moment, in my opinion, is risk mitigation in the Turkish market. And just to tell something about another case study as Azerbaijan, obviously Azerbaijan is quite new in this energy efficiency developments, we may say, but they are trying to proceed quite fast because they pledged a 35% reduction in the greenhouse emissions by 2030. And also next year, the COP summit will be in Azerbaijan. So they really speeded up in energy efficiency investments and as well as renewable energy investments. They have issued the new law, the efficient use of energy resources and energy efficiency in June 2021. And also a resolution outlining the requirements for energy management system in 2022. And we may say that the markets started to get open for energy efficiency investments, and it will accelerate. And also, this will provide a good potential for Turkish ESCO companies, energy consulting companies, as well, in my opinion. So it's good to follow those developments. And there's also a World Bank projects in Azerbaijan at the moment, and they're introducing an energy efficiency fund. This is different from Turkey because when we started our development, we didn't have this type of fund. But at the moment, I see in Azerbaijan, also in other Central Asian countries, a lot of them starting to create energy efficiency funds at the very beginning of their market development, which I believe that it's a very good instrument of financing to de-risk the projects. And in Azerbaijan, also the trainings and certification system and secondary regulations are on the way. They are not issued yet, but we may expect them to be issued in 2024. Also, as a member of EYODER, actually, I need to mention that there has been a renewable energy and energy efficiency working group established between Azerbaijan and Turkey, named Azerbaijan-Turkey Energy Forum in 2021. This was actually a bilateral agreement between the energy ministries of Turkey and Azerbaijan. But also, EYODER is providing technical expertise for the development of these relations also, and assist Azerbaijan to proceed faster in their energy efficiency investments based on our country's long experience in energy efficiency. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Selen, İnal, for this in-depth analysis between two countries. Actually, we are so quickly running out of time. So I would like to quickly ask our spectators if there is any question, or if there is no question, I would like to pass over to once more the stage to each of you to get your main messages. So let's see if there is anyone who has questions.
Actually, I have a question if there isn't any other.
Happily.
Is it possible?
Yes, please, Gözde.
Actually, when I was listening Selen Hanım, I noticed that she mentioned about risk mitigation and also lack of finance, I think, after the period of 2019. She is so right to point out these two issues. When I thought about it, why we had lack of, not enough risk mitigation policies, maybe I can mention about we need some more sustainability reports and adapting sustainability in all parts of our works. Maybe this can help to mitigate risks, because and I think the market is changing and it's evolving to this kind of projects and environments, and all firms need to prepare their sustainability reports, which helps see all the scenarios and maybe see all the risks. I think here we are at the beginning, and it will be better in the coming years. And for lack of finance, what I see in the sector is it depends on development of regulations for preparing this infrastructure for investment, also increasing the capacity of staff for international collaboration. If staff have good command of English or other languages, it helps, or also negotiation, policies, trainings can help. Maybe this is mostly for government sector, not I'm mentioning about private sector, but also attracting the investment environment is very important, because I know there are many IFIs, they are looking for Turkey, but because of some economical maybe problems, they just don't start the work, but they prefer to wait a little. So it's also very important to prepare the economical infrastructure for investment. So I was curious about what you are thinking about how we can improve the finance, international finance. I was curious about your views from the private sector.
Okay, it's a very huge subject, so maybe we can, discuss this in another panel, etc. in general. But what I can briefly say is that we need to divide actually into two, because there are big companies, and for big companies there are some other issues, and there are SMEs, and for SMEs it's different issues. For big companies, actually I worked in one IFC project in 2022, and I reviewed all the sustainability reports of the top 500 industrial companies in Turkey. And what I saw is that actually compared to 500, I say very limited number of them have sustainability reports. From those, very limited, more limited of them have integrated sustainability reports, which means that they combine their sustainability reporting with the financial issues. And the most lacking thing is that they have listed their recent green investments, but they don't have plans listed for the coming, let's say, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years in their reports, which means that either they don't put these planned investments, or they don't have any planned investments in 5 years. So when they don't have those investments, it's very difficult to get financed, because when you have those 5-10 years group of projects, let's say, and plans, then they may issue, for example, a green bond. There are issues, something like this. And when you talk about the SMEs part, it's of course lack of technical issues, lack of not knowing how they can proceed with those investments stage by stage. They don't know how to define them. They don't know how to prioritize them. They don't understand, or they don't know why it's so critical for their competitiveness. And then they don't know how to finance them. And even if they know how to finance, it's in the economical environment, it's too risky, or the interest rates may be higher for them, etc. So some economical issues. For this part, we need some other type of de-risking, let's say, instruments. But for the bigger companies, we need other things. But there are many, different things that can be done. So we need to just discuss all of them. But briefly, the environment seems like that at the moment.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we are in the last 1 minute of our meeting, but already it seems that this team will have a second panel when we find a suitable time for all of us. I would love to listen more to your answers, because it has been really an in-depth overview, looking in both our country and in the region in many aspects and in many sectors. So I would like to Thank everybody who joined us, and to all our panelists, Gözde, Ertemir, MERT, KALPAR, and Selen, İnal, once again. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.